Thanks, Roger.
I'm George Nygaard. I reside in La Crosse. I should say I did a big portion of my career while I was working as an environmental specialist for a private environmental management company. I've been through a few EISs, but most of the time we get DEISs, draft environmental impact statements. And the important element here is the final environmental impact statement is usually a reaction to the draft. In other words, it includes things like you guys testifying, it includes new information, that sort of thing. The components of an environmental impact statement are important, and that is cost-benefit analysis, risks, the need for it, that sort of thing. I have failed to derive any specific benefits to the citizens of the La Crosse area up and down the river. In fact, back in April, when all the regulators and the railroads met in Washington, they decided to say, try to avoid environmentally sensitive areas. Now, my first reaction to that is, knowing the Mississippi River, what more sensitive area in the environment can you get that's important? And, you know, whether it's crossing the river, the Black River, and on the CP line, and going by the chemicals and the deposits. Anyway, this is what a draft environmental impact statement. This is the final one. This is not for these guys, and this is for the Baptist Blue line. They're not all blue, and they're not all this thick, but they have all these elements that are awfully important for people to see and analyze. And I also have been disappointed having done these things with the PSC, which I have my disagreements with them sometimes too, but they have a very open system, and you can go on the computer, know a docket number or a project, and look it up and find it. I found it terribly difficult to access things from the DNR without an Amazon account, for instance. But anyway, I got involved with this. I'm a member of the CARS, and it's just amazing to me. The more we got into it, I think the problem is that it's been a reaction to the things going on and the disasters that have been happening around the country, rather than looking forward. I watched the Nova show last night that I know was sponsored by David Cope, is one of the sponsors. But it was all about how ice is melting, and they're basically guaranteed we're going to gain 3 feet of ocean rise because of, one, the expansion of the water from the lake, and melting glaciers in the mountains. Glacier National is predicting not any glaciers, and the melting of Greenland and Antarctica. That's a total of 3 feet, and that's the best case scenario. Now, if this isn't turning this ship around, then we shouldn't be doing it. We need an EIS that we can react to and take part of the citizens. Irv was wrong. We couldn't bring materials, but we could bring some. And the most important thing, you guys brought yourselves. And thanks.
Thank you, sir. Next we have Johnny